Okay, yeah, so we're recording. Welcome to this marketplace advertising tour here at KV Core. We're going to try to do this about once a month because we've had a lot of things happening, a lot of new updates in the last month, and we figure we'll try to get one of these sessions live so you can come on and answer any questions you might have about KV Core's marketplace options and advertising. If you have any questions at all, just pop it in the chat box if you're watching live. If you're watching on YouTube, the replay, or on Facebook, just use the comments and somebody will get back to you. And of course, you can always use the support chat widget at the bottom right of your KV Core dashboard. I am alone today, everybody, so nobody's moderating the chat. So if it takes me a minute to get to your questions, that's why, but I think I'll be all right. I'll be able to handle it. So, and if you do have any specific questions about any of the marketplace offerings, this is a good time for that. I'll probably just go through all the options, do kind of tour style, but feel free to butt in. Okay, so let's start out here. I'll start out by asking you guys, how many of you guys are using specifically our advertising options? Those options can be found under the Get More Leads section right here if you go to Marketplace. So I'll start with these options and then we can go into any of the other ones that you'll find in Marketplace. We'll do a little tour of that. But the advertising and lead generation tend to be where people have the most questions. So that's where I'm going to start today. So in this section, when you click on Marketplace, you go to leads, you'll notice that we have, about 7 offerings here right now. And these options range, I'm going to run down them in order, but what these are designed to do is help you get leads flowing into your KV Core database so that the automated features of the system can then take over. So this is sort of a push button way for you to build your funnel, and we also have some elements in these products that will help you convert your leads as well. So I'm going to bring up this doc here, which I'll share with you. This is a help desk article I've been working on creating this week that I'm going to share with everybody watching live. And if you're watching a replay, I'll try to get this in the description or in the comments down below. So here's the doc that I have up on the screen. And what I hope to do is just run through kind of in order and give you guys an explanation of what each of these products are and give you the opportunity to answer questions. Okay, so first off, we have Property Boost. Property Boost, of course, is probably our most popular offering, the one that most agents using KV Core have used and do use on a regular basis. And the reason for that is that it offers, in my opinion, the most leverage possible. Not only does it help you advertise your listings and make your sellers happy, it also puts fresh homeowner and buyer leads into your database at a pretty affordable, relatively affordable cost per lead. So Property Boost, generally you get leads for between $4 to $9 per. I think the last few months it's actually been on the real low end of that, or lower for a lot of people, like under $4. But we say $4 to $9 per. Can be ordered in 3-day, 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week, or 5 week durations, and there's no recurring billing with Property Boost. So the first time you click on the Property Boost tab, you'll have this kind of add to KV Core notice that you won't see here. And then moving forward, you can click this little sign in button. Zach's asking, is that $4 to $9 per lead or per week? $4 to $9 per lead into your database. Yeah, not per week. So it is a one-time payment per listing. You'll see that here in a second. So if I go here to the Property Boost page and I click enter property address, I'm just going to type some random numbers here and pick a listing. And you click use selected listing, you would search the address of your listing. You'll see here, these pricing options are one-off a la carte. So thanks, Melissa. Yeah, we get that feedback a lot. We continue to refine Property Boost, and honestly, it's getting better and better. I have a glimpse into what's going on behind the scenes. This thing's getting really cool. So you pick the duration. So you can start at $3 for 45, 3 days for 45, and it runs for that duration on Facebook. And basically shows a lead generation ad using Facebook's lead generation objective inside the Facebook stream. I will mention this kind of buried here. I got to call this out a little more, but it also does. You can also do this for open houses. So I think you need to order at least 3 or 4 days prior. for it to work. But if you have an open house this weekend, open houses are coming back. If you happen to be doing one, you can order Property Boost for your open house, and this will this will definitely help you get better attendance the longer that you run these ahead of your open house, because the neighbors will see there's an open house. They'll kind of put it in their calendar. You know, there's a lot of people out there who just kind of use, I do it sometimes. We use Sunday afternoon as kind of a date time with the wife, and, you know, go look at some open houses. So it is a good way to make sure you're not sitting at the open house twiddling your thumbs and doing nothing to get people to attend as well. So that's Property Boost. So you can open house or regular listings. I'll show you here. I have a screenshot of kind of what these ads look like. It's pretty simple here. Just the property, quick little description, beds, baths. And when the person clicks, a form pops up in Facebook and it pre-fills the information that Facebook has on file. You can kind of see it on the right side here. I'll try to make my screen bigger for you guys. I always forget to do that. Sorry. Try to make it bigger so you can kind of see it a little better. Good question, Mark. Mark's asking, is that boost price in addition to what Facebook charges? No, we do everything. We control the ad spend. So you're paying for, in that price per boost, that's the price to have us run the ad for you, right? And the includes the cost of your traffic. So there's no additional cost. You push a button, the ad runs for that duration, and you get leads, contacts coming in your database. Another really cool thing about Property Boost, for those of you who tried it would know, you have the option to put your seller's email address into the system, and it'll actually email your seller every day of the boost and let them know how many impressions you're getting on Facebook. And a cost, you know, the impression count can be pretty high. It can be a couple thousand a day who are actually seeing it in stream. And it'll show the number of impressions, the number of clicks, and the number of leads generated, I believe. Good question. Budrum's asking, will you guys have a campaign specifically for Property Boost in the near future? We did have one in there that was very short, and it just put it had an auto text in there. But I think in a lot of cases, you can get away with using the default campaign. It's a really good question, but the best practice here is going to be to just send an initial text or email or both, just thanking them for checking out your website and just asking them if they're looking to move sometime soon or if they had any questions. We don't, you know, for Property Boost, building out a specific, you know, 10, 20, 30 touch campaign, I'm not really sure where we would go with that, because, you know, they opted in about a specific property. So that follow-up isn't going to look a lot different than what the follow-up might look like on a, you know, on a regular buyer lead. A best practice, of course, would be to take the hashtag that's coming in. They usually, you'll see your first lead will coming in with PB123 Main Street, the address. You can set up automated listing alerts to go out based on that property address, so that people who opt in start getting automatically start getting properties in that area. So if you go to Marketing Autopilot and you click Search Alerts, you can go here. I'll show you really quickly how this is done. And to me, this is honestly, this is the easiest and probably the best form of drip you could set up on one of these leads without going through all the fuss of trying to build custom content. Definitely do this first. So I would do PB123 Main Street. You know, I know that this address is in a specific zip code, right? So maybe it's in my zip code, 33711. I pick that and I say, hey, any Property Boost lead I get for this property, go ahead and send this person a single family home, you know, with 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, because that's the listing I'm advertising, you know, once a day or once a week. So yeah, I'll try to make the screen bigger. Here we go. Right there. Right there. So yeah, as Barry's saying, search alerts, definitely the best. And, you know, there's a couple of threads going on in the Facebook groups. People are talking about how, hey, I'm seeing better open rates on my search alerts. And it really does make sense. People are, you know, people are interested in real estate. It's kind of fun to look at new properties coming on. We've recently made some enhancements to the subject lines on those. We're seeing really good results, but they're not so much interested in generic drip content from a real estate agent. So you will see nice results from these property alerts. Okay, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Yep. So follow-up can be automated. Definitely. That's what we're all about here, is automating the follow-up. So All right, so that's Property Boost. I probably missed a few things. There's so much going on with Property Boost. It's just really cool stuff. If you happen to be a team leader, broker owner, or enterprise, and you have a nice listing inventory, and you want to set up a feed so that you don't have to go manually run a Property Boost for all of your listings, we do have that available as well. You'll just want to talk to your account manager about that. So I have some people raising their hands. Let me see if I can find you. I think I see it here. Will this show videos? Property Boost does not show videos. We just show static pictures of the property. That's just the way that the service works. And then, yes, this will be on YouTube and Facebook. The recording of this will be, Marielle. Yep. So, okay. Property Boost, we got that out of the way. Definitely give it a try. One last thing I'll mention about Property Boost is a lot of agents, what I hear frequently is, hey, I have no listings. How can I use this thing? Just ask another agent in your office or in your market. Some people will say no, most won't. Hey, I'd like to run Property Boost. I'd like to run an ad for your listing. Do you mind? Most people are gonna say, yeah, get me the exposure. Bring me a buyer. So if you don't have one, don't let that be an impediment. Ask a few people. And honestly, this is probably the most efficient, affordable way to get fresh leads flowing into KV Core that we have. So that's why I start out any of these tours mentioning Property Boost. All righty. We don't have it for great questions, guys. We don't currently have Property Boost for coming soon listings. I've seen that on our roadmap. I'm not sure where it's at. I'll try to find out, but it's not there currently. Melissa's asking, aren't they already put on a search when they come in? Yeah, the system tries to set them up on a search. Best practice, though, is just make sure that it's happening. I like to set up the automatic alerts. What the system does, it looks like at the properties that people are searching and the AI tries to learn. But if you know you have a specific listing, that's why I recommend setting up the automated property alerts. And I think I got your question, Patricia. Yep, you can advertise other people's listings. All right, let's move on. I could do Property Boost all day. It could take up the whole hour. So let's move on to Facebook AI advertising right here. So Facebook AI advertising and retargeting actually works very similarly to Property Boost, but instead of advertising a property, it advertises a just listed list of properties in your market. So I'll scroll down to the ad example here. It might be a little blurry because I kind of stretched it out, but it's basically an ad. It says view all just listed homes available for sale in city. We do alter the text. We vary things up, and, so that the machine can learn, show a bunch of different ad variations. You can see here, I know it's blurry, but you can see it's showing different placements inside of both Facebook and Instagram. Facebook's ad platform, they own Instagram, so you can run ads on both. So we do that with this product now. The ads will show on both places. So it's basically just a quick picture of the front of the house. Usually you can't see it here. It has your brokerage name to keep compliant. I think it might have the brokerage phone number. Don't hold me to that, but brokerage name, URL. The person clicks, a form pops up just like I showed you with Property Boost, name, email, phone pre-filled, and then they're redirected to that property search on your site. This is a $250 a month service. You can order in $250 increments, and we create the ads, get them live on Facebook, and then the leads start coming in with a hashtag so that you can set up your automated follow-up. That hashtag is KVPaidFB. I'll try to get that in the notes here. So, somebody's asking, how did you get to where I dropped the link to the doc in the chat. I'll do that again right here for everybody. So yes, Facebook. So cost per lead on that, usually right now at 4 to 9. I have 5 to 10 here. A lot of times when I'm quoting cost per lead, the reason there's such variation, it tends to kind of mirror and echo the average sale price. It doesn't always hold true, but it'll kind of mirror what the average price per home. So if you know that your market's a little higher than the national average, you can kind of estimate based on that. Now, key thing to mention about these leads, and I don't even sometimes like calling them leads. It's just kind of a thing I've been doing so long, but really a fair thing to say is that they're contacts, they're homeowners and renters who might buy or list with you someday. But while some of them will want to jump in your car this weekend, it does happen. For the most part, these leads will take a little longer to incubate than, say, a Google lead, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So So you need to have the kind of outlook, both with Property Boost and Facebook AI advertising, that this person was interrupted on Facebook. They saw something out of the corner of their eye in their stream that they thought was interesting, and they opted in for the info. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're ready today. So these do require a longer term view. Another cool thing about the Facebook ads is that a percentage of the budget is allocated to retarget not only the people clicking this ad, but all of the traffic coming to your website will then start to see these ads, so they are called back into your fold. So that's an important thing there. It's really cool. So, yep, so that's the 250 service, Winsome, right there. There's a 3-month commitment. The reason we have these commitments, you know, there's a little bit that goes into supporting them, but really you need to give these a couple of months to really have the leads start to incubate, so you can really get a sense for your ROI. By the time 3 months comes, you should have about 100 leads, maybe a little less, a little more, that have come through. And you know, at $750 for 100 leads, you'll start to, you know, for around 100 leads, you'll start to have an idea of how it's going to perform longer term. And what we usually see is that a certain percentage of people don't do consistent follow-up and they give up, right? They say those leads were no good. And then we have a percentage who just, you know, love this service, and they keep it going for years and years and years because it helps fuel their business over the long term. So that's Facebook AI advertising and retargeting. That is, again, all of this is in the marketplace page under the leads tab right here. So that was this one right here with the Facebook icon. Okay. Next in the tour, and I'm kind of going in these guys, by the way, in kind of the order in which roughly I would order them based on budget. At the top of that doc, I actually have a video that attempts to give you some guidelines of what combinations of these you might order based on your budget. So good question. The billing for this is all done through KV Core. So we handle the billing. It all goes on the arrangement with Facebook all goes on our credit card. You're paying us for the service to have the ads run and to generate the result. Okay. So next we have our Google pay-per-click ads. This is the oldest lead generation service, going way back to the conversion days. We've been doing Google PPC going back, I think it was 2011 or 2012 now, in this way, and even before that. And the reason I mention that is we've kind of figured out what keywords work, what ad variations work. So with our Google pay-per-click ad service, what you get is kind of the experience and the data that's been collected over the years, and you can have a high level of certainty that you're getting the most efficient cost per lead possible with Google. And I know there are a lot of Google pay-per-click providers out in the marketplace. A lot of them will want to charge you $350, $500 a month, or something like 20% or more of spend. They usually will do a hybrid where they charge you a setup fee to get this done. With our service, you can just click the button. It starts at $500 per month. And then we just run effective, affordable Google pay-per-click ads that show on Google whenever somebody searches terms in your area. So I have some example ads on the screen. I think most people have seen these, right? You go on Google, you search Tampa homes for sale, an ad pops up, and then the traffic is driven to your KV Core website. Now, across all of North America, our average click-through, our average conversion rate is about 11%, 10.5 to 11%. And in most markets, clicks are between, you know, say 90 cents up to 250. And, you know, when you do the math, usually what we see is that leads on Google come in between $10 to $25, again, following that rough, you know, average home price metric I gave a few minutes ago. So again, these leads are going to be more expensive than Property Boost and Facebook, but they're also going to have higher intent, meaning you've actually got somebody who had in their brain, hey, I want to look for homes in Tampa, Florida right now. So they went, you know, took some effort, went and typed in Tampa, Florida homes for sale. So there's a better chance that this would be a person who wants to start their search, you know, in the next few weeks. So that kind of is why they're a little more expensive, you know, plays into that, and also why some people prefer Google over Facebook. So all the dollars, welcome Canadian users. I got to get used to this, but all the dollars you'll hear me say are going to be the US dollar. So yeah. Good question. How is the market share divided among agents who subscribe to the same zip code? On Facebook, it's not a problem. There's so much traffic available. We have zip codes with a good number of agents, and we very infrequently on Facebook. I've never seen that issue. On occasion, it's happened very rarely. With Google, we've run into competition among our own users in the same market, but that's not even frequently a problem. Usually what we'll do there, if we're not getting the results we want for one, we might suggest another area, a city, or we'll make some adjustments. Just remember, when we're talking about Google and Facebook, and then we're talking about $250 or $500 a month budgets, this is tiny for for these channels. These are massive ad channels, so generally that's not a problem. Yeah, so the link to this doc, guys, if you search advertising in the search portal, in the help desk portal in KV Core, this will pop up, but here's the link again for everybody. So those are our Google pay-per-click ads. Again, higher intent. We have people who've been on this for 7, 8 years straight. They fuel their business with it every day. I like to mention that because I get the question, well, how's the conversion rate? What are the results? The results are all over the board because the talent and skills of the people working the leads vary, if you know what I'm getting at. But I will say that we have a lot of top producers who have systems installed in their business for following up on these leads. They use all of KV Core's automation features, and they know that it's money in, money out later with these products. So there we go. That's Google pay-per-click. Okay, Core Social. We kind of have that in here in the marketplace. There is a video about Core Social. I'm going to go over this one quickly. It's very cool. Basically, humans curate content, and it's placed automatically on your social channels, on your Facebook business pages, LinkedIn, and Twitter. It's $49 a month. That product has been in existence for a good while now. And I would say that while it's not directly going to generate you a ton of leads per se, it will help remind your sphere of influence that you're in the business, and it will help convert either leads that you've already created and you've friended up on social media, or people who haven't come into your real estate fold yet who know you. It'll help let them know that you're in the business. So it'll generate probably a warmer lead over time, but it's hard to kind of quantify the way I am with the other products. So definitely check out Core Social. Good question, Zach. Are the posts automatically scheduled and posted? Yes. So if you watch that video in the marketplace, you'll see you have the ability to pick the specific categories of types of content you want posted, and also the days of the week that you want it posted, and it's all automated. You don't have to go do anything. So it's a cool service. Again, when you think about $50 a month to let everybody in your sphere, on your Twitter account, on your LinkedIn, keep being reminded that you're in the business, and you think about the average transaction side that you can get, you only 1 or 2 deals a year from that. It really ROIs nicely. I don't think Core Social can be linked with KCM right now. I mean, we get a lot of requests about KCM. I know it's something we're looking into. I will find out, Dimitri. I don't know the answer to that, the Instagram posting for Core Social. It could have something to do with the APIs. Instagram is always a personal profile post. And I know that a while back, Facebook may have taken away that ability to post on your personal profiles. So that's what Core Social does, your business pages, and then it does your personal Twitter and personal LinkedIn. So that might be why it's not Instagram. Cool, so that's Core Social. Next, we have Google branded display retargeting. This is one I'm proud of. I wanted us to launch for a while. It's been about 6 months now. It's been in existence. We've had very few people cancel this. It's kind of a simple to understand, packs a lot of power offering. What it does is it shows a banner ad. I've got our chief product officer, Nick, here in a demo ad. It shows a nice animated banner ad similar to what you see here across Google's display network to anybody who clicks on your site. So basically, people get pixeled when they visit your website, right? They get cookie pixeled, whatever you want to call it. And then these ads follow them around wherever Google's display network appears. And if you Google Google's display network, Well, you can read into that. It's millions and millions of sites. And there's a site I always use. It's really funny. I don't know if any of you guys have heard me say this before. I always tell people to go look at Zero Hedge, which is a site I look at for entertainment. Don't judge me either way. I find it very interesting. But basically, it's these banner ads that you see on the right side of the site right here, like this cigar shop. I just yesterday, they got kicked out of the Google Display Network, apparently. It was very interesting because I always use them as my example. But basically, your ads can show on any site that's carrying the Google Display Network and putting banner ads on it, and it's millions of sites. You could show up on ESPN, CNN. You know, it's just up to whether the sites are displaying those ads at any given moment. So the reason why this is cool is that think about it this way: when somebody visits your site, maybe they came off a Google or Facebook ad, they might get distracted and go away. You know, they're gonna go about their life. The system's gonna start sending them emails, texts. They're gonna see your name, right? They're gonna be replied to, but there's a chance that they opted into Zillow, Realtor.com. They opted into 3 other agent sites, right? And they're to see your name mixed in with a bunch of others. Now, if you're sending unique, interesting content, that'll help you rise above the crowd, but there's a lot of work involved with that, right? What this does is it allows you to kind of do these little micro touches, what I like to say, right? Anywhere they're going online, and they're like, oh, there's that guy again. I'm trying to bring up Nick's face here. There's that guy, Joseph. There's that guy, Joseph, showing up again in my stream. Oh, that's that realtor. And even if it's not conscious, subconsciously, they'd start to know, like, and trust you a little more. And they also sort of feel like you must have a big advertising budget. You might be really legit. Now, the truth is, there might have only been 50 people who visited your website this month, you know, and it's only those 50 people seeing you everywhere they go. But it helps kind of have those people understand that you're in the business, trust you, so that when they are getting your emails from you, they're putting the face to the name and you have a better chance of interaction. Another really cool thing here, of course, is that when your cousin, the person you went to high school with, you know, if they happen to hit your site, they're constantly reminded that you're in the business, and then the chances that they're going to be at a party and somebody's going to talk real estate, the chances they're going to refer you also increases as well. So these are sort of, we're kind of transitioning into not this direct lead generation, but into the conversion side of things with our advertising offerings. So $100 a month, we create the ad. There's no setup fee. The creatives are done. And it just kind of runs. The average impression count is really high. It's like 30,000 a month. An impression is every time it shows on a website. So think of those as teeny weeny, tiny polka dot bikini micro touches going on subconsciously, helping people to get to know you. So that is our Google Display branded retargeting. So a couple of questions I'll catch up on here. We'll have a copy of the recording for sure. That'll be on our Facebook group and on our YouTube channel. Can we customize the branding for a specific area or country or city? No, we keep it very generic, kind of what you see here. I guess, so to answer that question, we will show you the ad after you order it for your approval. This is the only one where we do that, just to make sure that the picture is cool and everything's fine. If you do want it to say, you see how it says search hundreds of crater front listings? I was making a joke on the moon. We can do like search hundreds of listings in Philadelphia, if that's what you mean. But we're not gonna, you know, we don't have the bandwidth at the pricing of this product to be doing 20 different revisions. You'll basically be able to say, yeah, that's fine. Can you do this? And we'll probably accommodate. So. Good question. Monvi says, if I opt into more than one of these options, how would I know? So every time a lead is generated from any of these products, it comes in with a unique source and a unique hashtag. Okay. And I'm realizing now, as I say that, I'll try to put what those hashtags are in this document so that you know what it's going to be moving forward. It's always the same thing for each one. So yeah, you'll know which are performing better. A question about Property Boost. Can you add to the form they fill out asking if they are in the market to buy? We don't do that. It kills conversions. So basically, it makes the person stop, think, and add another step to the process. So the cost per lead will spike through the roof. You're welcome to do that on your own. You know, we have courses in the Learning Portal about running Facebook lead ads. I know a lot of people swear by that. I've tried a lot of that in the past. And mostly what I've learned is that I'd rather just get the volume and then convert people on the back end. And really in real estate, everybody, the answer to are you in the market to buy is always maybe. And by that, I mean, they're either going to buy or sell now, or they're going to buy or sell in 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. Everybody eventually moves, not everybody, but like 90% of people. So that's kind of the approach we're taking here. But I understand the spirit of the question. We just don't do that because it would hurt the cost per lead for everybody using these products. So next we'll move on. We have our, a mention here about our core concierge follow-up services. This is something we just launched. There is a detailed help doc about this. There's a lot of, I know you guys are gonna have a ton of questions about this, so I'll try to get that help doc. But basically, the broad strokes is that humans follow up your leads and qualify them for you. What they mean by qualify is they do the work of trying to engage the person and get the person to say, yes, I'd like to talk to an agent now. They're not doing a full mortgage qualification. So it's not the best word to use, but it's the word we're using. The pricing on that is $350 a month for 50 leads nurtured. It works out to 7 a lead. And basically the main value proposition here is that if you don't want to spend time chasing leads, or you know you're going to be inconsistent calling people right away, and you don't want to, you only want to worry about the people who are ready to talk to you right now, and let the automation of KV Core do the rest of the work, then this is a good option. So there's a video in there about Core Concierge. This whole session I know could be taken over by Core Concierge. So if you have any questions about that right now, you can ask them, but I would kind of direct you to the video on that. Basically, it's kind of, it's not the greatest word to use. It's kind of like an ISA service stuff. Yep, sorry. The question is, how do you automate the search alert based on Property Boost? You do that under Smart Campaigns, under Smart CRM. I'm sorry, under Marketing Autopilot. Sorry, Marketing Autopilot, and then Search Alerts. And from there, it's pretty easy to do. You just create the alert and choose the hashtag. And we have documentation about that, or you can ask support, and I'll walk you through it. But you just click Create the Alert there. So Core Concierge, again, the display and the Core Concierge, those are kind of things that you would add on in order to help make sure some more of your leads that you're paying for from Facebook and Google convert from Facebook, Google, and Property Boost. On the Core Concierge, so they text, there's texting going on, there's emailing going on. They do it in they have a whole system for it. I think it's linked from the help doc about that. And then they call, but only once the person engages and says they want to call. So they'll kind of ask, do you want to talk now? They'll talk, and then they'll hand that person over to you via an email, a text, and a note. So you'll be notified in real time, hey, you know, John Doe is ready, wants to talk to an agent right now. So I can see a lot of, you know, if you think about it, I can see a lot of value in that. If you're out and about, a lead comes in, they're frantic, they're ready to go right now. You know, you want to be able to follow up, but you can't always do it. So this is kind of a solution for that. Yes, if the info is bad, yes, it's still part of the count. We do not offer any cold calling services on expired or FSBOs currently. I know that a common request, you know, is integrations with things like Mojo, Landvoice, RedX. Well, we do have via our API Nation. I'll show you that in a second. We do have it. You can tie Mojo up to KV Core, where you send those leads in, or vice versa, so that you could use a dialer, if that's what you mean. But we don't have anybody calling outbound right now. Okay, so the latest sort of marketing and advertising product that we've kind of re-added, we baited this earlier in the year with some interesting results, is Core Multi-Channel. Now, what Core Multi-Channel does is it bundles the things that we saw work best in combination from our earlier beta test. I did a whole webinar about 6 months ago. Barry's on. There's a few guys who took us up on it. And basically, it's a bundled combination of lead generation and conversion services, the things we talked about, and it's designed to just be as efficient as possible at $749 a month. So $749 a month, what you get is you get the Facebook lead, Facebook and Instagram lead form ads that push the fresh home buyers and renters into your KV Core CRM. You have the Google display retargeting, shows a banner ad with your picture and contact info to all your site's visitors. And then you have Core Concierge human lead follow-up services on all those leads that come in. So there's a video about Core Multi-Channel. I don't think I need to go too far in depth. I've kind of explained all those individual components. Core Multi-Channel lets you bundle those in a nice kind of succinct package. Great. So I will get to your questions, guys. I see a lot coming in. So with the AI, will this be applied to existing contacts or just those that visit your website after setup? So it's a good question. On the Google display, on the retargeting, we do actually take the current, anybody who's been to your site going back 6 months is already in the pixel. So we are retargeting everybody in your database, and we are taking the current contact list and making sure that they're in that audience. Basically how it works under the hood is we're building audiences with the ad networks. So the quick answer is yes, it will retarget people who have already been to your site. Cool. So that is Core Multi-Channel. And then I have a video here about seller leads because the question always comes up. I just made this about an hour ago. But the quick answer is we don't have anything that says seller leads. And we used to drive traffic to the sell page on your site, right? That, what's my property worth page that you get on your KV Core website. The issue with this, and this is what a lot of people in the industry have done for years in order to generate a so-called seller lead, is that a lot of times the people who come through, they're the brother, the cousin, they might be the homeowner, but even when they are the homeowner, they might not have a lot of intent to sell the property. They're just casually curious. They saw an ad on Facebook. And what we learned was that the quality of this lead wasn't as good as the quality of, say, putting a homeowner who's curious about a property list in our Facebook product into your database. So you actually get better results. You get more seller leads over time by using these other products. So we archived the service that drives traffic to this. You can go run your own Facebook ads, of course, and drive traffic to these pages. And we are working on, we have some really cool ideas. They're months out, but we are working on something else, some other stuff for seller lead generation. But right now, when you watch that video, just know that by putting a lot of homeowners into your database from Property Boost, from Facebook, these are people who live in your market. This will lead to listings if you're incubating and using the system to follow up. You'll have conversations with people, move up, move down, right? You know the drill. Most people who actually, a lot of people who are actually looking for another house already have a home to sell. That's kind of the theory there. So that's that on the advertising stuff. So that's the most popular things we have. We have a question about how do you come up with the value of their home? Isn't that a risk? Yeah, we are careful to say that it's an estimated value. It is a little tricky right there. And we always say that, it's best for you to follow up and give a real opinion. So, yeah. Okay, how does the bundle work if you already have some of the lead generation services? We can hit up our advertising department. Yeah, we can figure that out if you want. Yeah, we can either cancel the old one and replace with the new or something like that, Philip. But yeah, definitely just ask for the advertising department and we'll figure it out based on what you already have. Okay, so that was the advertising, kind of the sexy stuff that everybody usually wants to know about. That's why I started there. But let's talk a little bit and get any questions answered about the other things we have going on inside of the marketplace. So I'm just going to go through these tabs here, kind of point out some things, explain what they are. Maybe a little briefer than I did for each of those, but I think a lot of you may have heard we have the Core Team add-on. That's basically if you have your own team, it's like getting your own brokerage version of KV Core. I might be bungling that a little bit. I don't market it too often, but it's really cool. It's kind of your own instance. It's your own data. It's kind of exists separate from your brokerage right there. So at the cost for that, it's like getting one of our competitors, which are, usually over $1,000, some of those competitors a month. The Core Team add-on is very affordably priced for having your team. So you can check that out. We have the Smart Number add-on. The biggest thing with the Smart Number add-on is that it gives you your own number. One of the main things about that is that if somebody calls your office line, and they're not already in the system. If they're already in the system with that phone number, it'll come directly to you every time. But if they call from like the wife's phone or an office phone, but they initially came in and gave you their cell number, there's a chance it'll route to the rest of your office. So your own Smart Number add-on gives you your own personal number for marketing, and also, you'll be able to build all the text codes and everything on that as well. Another cool thing the Smart Number does, is it actually enables a feature we should probably talk about more, but basically anybody can text an MLS number to that number and it'll reply back with any listing in the MLS, which is kind of a really cool feature of the Smart Number. Okay, just more questions here. Great. Yeah, Christy, definitely watch the video at the top of that document. But what I recommend for agents who've never paid for marketing before, start with Property Boost because it's not a recurring subscription. You can order them one at a time. It's a good way to kind of dabble, you know, even if you have to borrow another agent's listing. After that, you know, the Facebook 3-month commitment is good. You will get leads coming in your database with mostly real cell numbers, people you can talk to. Okay, so the WordPress plugin token, that's if you have your own WordPress site, you'll get a token to be able to have display your IDX search on your website. That I think is $60 a month, $66 a month right now. Pretty cool. There's a video there about that. Core voicemail drop. I'm not sure. We recently did a few videos and webinars about that, but it's really cool. Basically, inside of Smart Campaigns, Marketing Autopilot, you can set it up so a voicemail is left. It bypasses the phone doesn't ring, and a voicemail is left. And you can add these as part of the actions inside of campaigns. So the way that looks, I'll try to, you know what, I don't have it enabled on this account, and we're gonna run out of time. But basically what you do is you record, you click to add the template for voicemail, and you record a voice message, and you can say, hey, I want to send my past client a check-in voicemail every quarter. So you might have a, you know, every 6 months an voicemail goes out and says, hey, just checking in. You know, it's Ryan with Forever Florida Real Estate. Just checking in, see how you're doing. If there's anything I can help with right now, feel free to give me a call. And that's it. So it's kind of a nice way to automatically stay in touch. Can also be a very powerful way, of course, to make another touch as leads come in. So that's core voicemail. Let's see here. Going back to my list here, and I'll answer another question here. We don't have any specific services that do farming, done for you farming right now. But if you go in the Facebook group, insiderealestate.com/Facebook group, there are a lot of virtual assistants and providers. If you ask that question, I'm sure a few people would raise their hand. So let's go. We're still on the add-ons here. So that was core voicemail. API Nation is what I mentioned before with Mojo. So this is sort of a connector app like a Zapier.com that will connect various programs. The list is right here to KV Core. So if you get have a lead in Mojo and you want to push it into KV Core, you can do that. You can use Facebook lead ads. If you're doing your own ads, you can push those leads into KV Core. So that's what API Nation is. We just launched Core Video powered by BombBomb. There's a webinar we did a couple of months ago. You can find that. I have to kind of redo this page, but if you go to insiderealestate.com/webinars, I believe we'll get you here. insiderealestate.com/webinars. We'll redirect here. You can see the BombBomb replay. It's one of the last replays in our virtual training summit right there. But basically, BombBomb is a video service. I think most people know what that is. And it will allow you to do videos on the fly from KV Core. Now, that integration is included for everybody. You can send one-to-one emails to any contact that you want to. So I'll kind of show you what that looks like really quickly. The BombBomb Premium, it does not include BombBomb's newsletters, but you can include the videos inside of KV Core's newsletters if you're on the premium. So let me show you here. So I'll just use my test lead. So I click Core Video right here, and I can open the recorder and record a video right in line. Now my camera is being used by Zoom right now, so I can't do both recordings at the same time, so it won't let me. But anybody who has KV Core access can record a video and send it one at a time to any contact. If you're on the premium, you can send it as text. You can add them to templates and send them out in Smart Campaigns. So here I am in the advanced editor. So I can do that. You also get access to your previous library. So you see I have my previous right here. And I can insert any video on the fly, like so, and send that out. So basically you don't, so to answer that question about the newsletter, you would use KV Core's newsletter functionality, and it's integrated via the Core BombBomb Premium. Question is, if you have your own phone number and advertise in Facebook, will the lead be entered in KV Core? Not sure what do you mean. Brian, do you mean if they call the number or if they text it? If somebody texts your lead, yes, it's added. It'll be added as a lead if they use one of your text reply codes, your smart number codes. So yeah, just let me know, maybe clear that up if I didn't answer that right. I'll do my best. So I think that was all of our add-ons. We had Core Video. Core Video for Groups is if you want sort of a team or brokerage account. We have our Vanity Domain add-on. This is if you want to have your own domain, like ryanhartman.info, you know, to be your real estate website instead of the subdomain, you know, your name dot your company's name. So you can watch the video about that. Basically, you buy your own domain, and then we map it over. There's SEO benefits to this because you're kind of building clout on that branded domain over, you know, as years go by. And also just it's a marketing convenience. Instead of having to give people a subdomain all the time, you're giving them a simple, easy domain to understand. So that's the Vanity Domain add-on right there. Okay, we did leads. Let's see what we have for listings. Good question. Can you use a custom domain name for a squeeze page? Well, you would forward it. So, I do this. Here's an example. I have my 727 realestatedeals.com. It's probably small on your screen, but I'm typing it into my browser up at the top left. What that does is I tell GoDaddy to forward that to a landing page. And you would do the same for a squeeze like that. So you can buy domains and do that. If you have, wow, this is a little bit advanced. I don't want to blow everybody's head up, and it's a little off topic, but you could create subdomain redirects in GoDaddy. Google that, how to create a subdomain redirect in GoDaddy. It's free. You just go into the domain settings, and you could do like 123 Main Street .domain.com. You know, so if it was 123mainstreet.ryanhartman.com, and you could do that for as many as you want once you own the domain. I should probably drop a video about that. I've made that video like 10 times over the years, probably haven't done it in about 2 years. So I'll do that video again. It's a really handy little trick. Yep, great, Sue. Yeah, you got to forward it, but the subdomain feature does make it a lot of fun. So promote and sell listings. Well, this is, we talked about Core Property Boost. I think we have some more things coming there. Website add-ons, I'll highlight here. We have our semi-custom templates, custom featured areas, and this is sort of a custom design service that really, honestly, has pushed out some really beautiful looking sites. I'm going to get the examples. I think when we built this tile, we didn't have as many examples as we have now. But if you do want custom design, that's available here. And those guys on that team do a really wonderful job and have pushed out some beautiful, beautiful sites. We talked about the plugin token. Drive time and local logic. Local logic basically gives a lot more information than our regular search. It provides hyperlocal content like nearby transit, schools, grocery stores. That's $15 a month. And then Drive Time is a little overlay on your property search that shows the estimated drive time from specific points. So I actually don't have these enabled on the demo account I'm in, but you can check those two out. They're definitely very cool and will help make your search stickier. Finances, we have a link to eCommission. They're basically a cash flow solution that allows you to get loans against future commissions. And then we have our third-party tools and integrations here. So we've talked about Ideal Estate is a referral network tool. We talked about API Nation. A lot of these are related to API Nation, InRich Drive Time. The only other one would be Thanks.io, which I'm a co-founder of, full disclosure. So I'm biased. It's completely awesome. It's off the hook, crazy good, crazy good. Just kidding. But basically, it's not a direct integration with KV Core right now, but there are some cool ways you can make it play with KV Core via Zapier. You can also just use it to do just listed cards. If you click that tile, there's a webinar that walks through Thanks.io in detail. And I'm going to the homepage here just to show some examples of, these are all of our users, but here's a few agent cards that have gone out recently that went ahead and shared. We have 12 handwritten fonts that you can choose from. The idea is that when somebody gets the card, their eyes are drawn to it, they read it. And ideally, in real estate, they're going to hold on to your card and your contact info for when they're ready to sell. So you can check out Thanks.io if you'd like. And I think that concludes our tour. So the way I got to all this, guys, I'm sorry if I went fast here, is you go to Marketplace. And then the last section I was on, this was our third-party tools. So it's not Thanks.io isn't a direct integration, for example, but it kind of, it offers a tool set that you can use in conjunction with KV Core, and we'll link up via Zapier. So there you go. Definitely watch that webinar. You can buy lead. There's a lot you can do with that one. I'm plugging it a little too hard. I'm biased, but it is cool. So were there any other questions about the advertising, anything that I just mentioned that I missed? If I missed your question, feel free to just ask it again. It's possible. The participation has been great. It's possible I missed a few. Question here I saw was, how do you do mass emailing using Keeping Current Matters? It depends on the service. You can always zap your leads out via Zapier.com to third-party mailers. We don't have a direct Keeping Current Matters integration right now, though. We don't have, that question's kind of coming up again. We don't have an automated newsletter. We do have in our marketing autopilot, we have smart campaigns that you can kind of, with pre-built emails that you can use there. I think I'm hearing that we need to integrate with some kind of newsletter provider though. So, yeah. All right, we'll do, Mariana. We probably, honestly, we're probably talking to somebody I'm probably just not aware of who it is. But I know that it's been requested frequently. So good question. Can I be doing Facebook lead forms and Google Ads at the same time KV Core is doing them? The Facebook lead forms, no problem. Google can be, and I haven't seen this pop up, Google can be a little weird about the same domain being advertised from multiple Google accounts. I think that, and I think the reason for that is they, they've had to ban people over the years, and they find it fishy. So there is some risk that they might give you a warning or ask what's going on. So just be careful with that. If we're running it to your domain and then you go do it out of another account, I think they have some stuff around that. I'm a little fuzzy on it, so definitely do your own, due diligence on that. But yeah, you're free to market alongside us. We have no issues with it. We want you to, and honestly, we have these here so as a convenience, so people can push a button and get leads coming in. But the pricing on these isn't really set to be high margin for us. It's set so that you have leads flowing into the software, and our main interest is having you use the software. So if you can do, the point of that is if you can do this stuff on your own, we will encourage it and help with it. And some of the things we have along those lines, we have our Facebook group. We try to do a lot of these webinars. The Learning Portal has some courses about different lead generation methods. We have a Facebook ads course in there. I think it needs to be updated, but most of the information is still relevant, and so on. So definitely feel free to run your own ads is what I'm saying. For the agent without listings, how would a Facebook lead work? So you would just get permission from another agent to advertise a listing, and it's the way we had the system set up. You can put any listing, you can advertise any listing. It's on you to do the right thing and not market a listing that you're not supposed to. So you would just go find that listing and type in the address, if that's the spirit of the question. So Kathleen's brand new. She wants to know, of all the options KV Core offers, what do you think I should focus on to start a business? So Free non-paid option, start posting a listing of the day on Facebook. A squeeze listing of the day on Facebook every day of the week. Let your sphere of influence know you're in the business. They're going to see you're in the business. They'll occasionally click through and become a lead. If you are looking to spend some money, depending on your budget, borrow listings of other people and do property boost. And then after that, maybe go to the Facebook AI and retargeting. So I do have that video on the doc. I'll drop it here one more time up top. I attempt to kind of answer that question based on budget in that video. Good question. Is there a way we can see how many people have our pixel from our site? Facebook, if you install Pixel, Facebook gives you a really rough estimate, but it's not that accurate. The best way would be to look at your own analytics. If you have Google Analytics installed, which you can do, then you would just know how many people visited the site. I wish I could give you a better answer, but it's tough to see. So if I go into Google right now, if it's about the retargeting and I look at the audience size, it's gonna give like a number, you know, but it's not an accurate number. It's always a round number. It's like 300, 700, you know, so, but you can get a rough estimate. Yeah. Thank you for all the questions, guys. How would I produce an exclusive listing, not in the MLS? So we can't do that right now. It needs to be on your website, not a coming soon. But you can, you know, we do have in that Facebook course inside the Learning Portal, we do have training about how to run your own property boost, do your own Facebook lead forms. So you can do them. I do know, I'm pretty sure we are working on the manual boost thing though. I'm going back to your question. Yeah, so Facebook also has custom audiences. Do you want to know, it's kind of outside of the scope of today, but if you want to see your audience inside of Facebook, you can do that inside of your Facebook Ads Manager. If that's the question, you just go into the, go here. If you click the hamburger in your Ads Manager, you can go to your audiences and see the sizes. If you're asking if we show you the size of your audience for we don't. For the products that we're delivering, we don't do that. But it's basically gonna be anybody who visited your site. So it'll be based on your traffic, and we're, you know, Facebook pixels them as they visit the site. Oh my goodness, there's a bunch of other questions in the Q&A. All right, let me run through them here. There's, you know, Zoom gives you this chat, so I've been answering all those, and I just glanced over at the Q&A. There's not too many. So the integration with Land Voice and the ability to use a dialer. We don't have a Land Voice integration specifically. Anything that integrates with Zapier.com, we integrate with. So we have a Zapier. We work with Zapier. Zapier connects with a bunch of different apps. We also have tie-ins with API Nation. If you click the API Nation tab, it'll show you that, but we don't have a Land Voice specifically. What is the cost of API Nation? That is, I think they charge $5 per connection per month. The Facebook one they offer is free though. For the Facebook lead ads, they do that as a courtesy. On the service, the Facebook AI ads and retargeting are the ads created automatically. It's all done for you. So you click the button, you say what area you want to advertise in, and then it just happens. It goes live within one business day. So if it's a weekday, it'll go live overnight. I think they actually go live on the weekend too, but I don't want to promise that. But it's always within one business day. I think they do go live on the weekend though. Christy, the curated content, going back to Core Social, I'm a little fuzzy on that product, but if you ask our support, they might be able to give you examples or just watch the video. I think there's details there. Google has a radius functionality. We don't use that. To answer Susan's question from earlier, does Google have a radius search like Facebook? They do have you can actually go and choose an area around a pin. We don't do it that way. We do it by the city. And I don't know how many of you guys saw it, but Google is taking away the same way Facebook did. They're taking away zip code targeting. So you might, I don't know, maybe they're taking that away for real estate ads, you know, the radius stuff. I'm not sure. But most of the time I'm just running Google PPC by city. That's how we do it here. And it's very effective. And all prices are in US dollars, yes. Cool. Well, thank you for all the questions, everybody. If there aren't any more, I think I'll let you go. Hopefully this was useful. Let me know. I know we get tons of questions about this stuff, so I like to.
In this video, I'm going to attempt to answer.
Well, there's me talking to myself. You know, which we're going to try at least once a month to kind of do a fresh review. You know, in the last month we've done so much Core Concierge, Core Video. A handful of these products have actually changed, so we'll try to get you an update at least once a month or so. And definitely do use the chat and the Facebook group. If you have any other specific questions. The Facebook group in particular is great for strategic questions about advertising. You have not only me, you have a bunch of other users in there who are very happy to chime in about Facebook ads, Google ads, anything advanced that might be coming to mind. Thank you, Sue. The recording will be sent out, Gary. I'll make sure it's posted to the Facebook group. So use insiderealestate.com/Facebook group. It'll be here in a few hours. All right, everybody, talk soon. Have a good one.